Simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Why you make it so complicated? No, I'm just kidding. Simplicity is boiling something down to its essence. And everyone always says, oh, keep it simple like it's easy. Actually, simplifying something is the hardest thing to do. It's kind of like peeling back the onion to the middle layer. You get to the essence of the onion, but you're going to cry during the process. In this book review, we're going to be reviewing Insanely Simple, The Obsession That Drives Apple's Success by Ken Segall. He worked at a marketing agency that worked with a lot of big companies such as, I think, Google and Apple. I read this book like a year and a half ago. And for those of you who know me, you know Steve Jobs is one of my favorite entrepreneurs. Jesus, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett. And, I love how they keep things so simple. Like, even if you look at an Apple, any packaging that an iPhone or an iPad comes in, it's white, rounded rectangles, super simple. And it looks the best, but it has the less. Ooh, didn't mean to rhyme, but that happens some of the time. But, all right, let me stop. So, as you guys know, I've been reading a book a week since 2015, and I like to compare reading a book to mining gold. Every book has nuggets. Some have more than others. And I like to underline those nuggets, and I write them down in my notebook. And I'm going to be sharing those with you guys. And I'm going to be elaborating on the points that aren't self-explanatory. So let's get right into it. Simplicity is never achieved through exceptions. Let that sink in. When process is king, ideas will never be. It takes only common sense to recognize that the more layers you add to a process, the more watered down the final work will become. With Apple, the approval of an idea meant that the agency was cleared to start production. Steve Jobs trusted the agency to do his job. Next time he saw us was usually when we returned to share the finished ads, minimizing the process involved in the creative development. Next one. When you first start off trying to solve a problem, the first solutions you come up with are very complex, and most people stop there. But if you keep going and live with the problem and peel more layers of the onion off, you can oftentimes arrive at some very elegant and simple solutions. Once Apple comes up with a solution, it's more of a beginning than an end. So right now I'm about to launch a project, and I had to write a script for a webinar. And I'm working with a marketing agency, Social Key Media. Shout out to Miles Cronman. And I was writing this webinar script out, and the first one I had, it was very confusing. And a lot of times when you're in something and you understand it at a deep level, you use a lot of esoteric words that don't make sense. And I'm getting on calls with him 3 to 4 times a week. And he's just telling me what I need to take out, what I need to add in. This is too confusing. What does this mean? This makes no sense. So simplicity is hard, like I said in the beginning. But now that the script is done, it's nice and simple. And I feel like I can read it to maybe not a 4-year-old, maybe like a 12-year-old, because it is still finance. All right, next. Look suspiciously at any project plan that doesn't include the regular participation of the final decision maker. So a lot of times people will be like, delegate a project and be like, oh, you guys go and do this. And then they'll wonder why things are effed up when it's done, because the final decision maker wasn't a part of the whole process. If you want to ensure the failure of something, make it someone's hobby or side project. Every time you attempt to communicate more than one thing, you're splitting the attention of those you're talking to. If it's necessary to deliver multiple messages, find a common theme that unites them all and push hard on that idea. A sea of choices is no choice at all. The more you can minimize your proposition, the more attractive it will be. Now, through doing this business, Know-It-Alls, I learned a lot of strengths and weaknesses because it's the biggest team that I've ever worked with. And I'm all about simplifying things. I love Apple and how simple their marketing and their products are, but I realize it's not my strongest suit. So I need to work with people who are good with simplifying things. It's important to, be self-aware about what you're good at. And I will get better at it. Next one. Choreographed meetings and formalized presentations may transfer information from person to person, but they neither inspire nor bring a team closer together. You'll get more accomplished when you converse with people rather than present to them. Internally, on the day-to-day with clients, deformalize. So there's a story in here where the author of the book, I think it was his first time doing an ad review with Steve Jobs after they got the deal or whatever. And he had the ads and he put them face down on the table. And he's like, all right, now when we were making this ads, we had this in mind and this and this. And at first Steve Jobs would listen, but then out of nowhere he exploded. Like, just show me the fucking ads. And then we can talk about them. So it's like, don't do all that priming, Show the ads and then converse with them later. It's just going to irritate people. And, it's not the most efficient way to go about certain things. Last point, this is a short book. You'll achieve better results if you believe more in talent of people to work miracles than in those who are quick to provide negative answers. Don't allow the discouragement of others to force compromise upon your ideas. So I know that book review was really short. If you like this, consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what book you want me to review next. I would definitely recommend reading this book. And if I had to give it a score, I give it the stories in there were pretty exciting. I just love reading about Steve Jobs. So I give it a 9. No, I give it a 8.725. But still definitely recommend. So with that, I thank you for tuning in. I love all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.